Back here in Sauce and Shram and performing tonight at Zany's in Chicago, a man that really doesn't need an introduction. We'll give him one anyway.
Or a plug, I'm sold out.
Frank Caliendo,
You're not getting in.
You can't even get tickets tonight at Zany's. Frank, it's great to have you back in Chicago, man.
Great to be here as I'm trying to eat.
Tell Lance Mountain how much you love his green chili salsa.
You like it?
I told you, I can say it's very good, but I have competitive friends.
Oh.
But this is tremendously good.
It stacks up with some other green chili we know of.
Yeah.
We won't name names. We'll just say that this is very good, Lance. Thank you.
It's excellent. It blew me away. I'm going to be honest with you, 100%. That could be an emoji. But I almost went green. I'll tell you what, man. That's some good chili right there, man.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever just by accident gone into, when you're supposed to just be Frank, just from performing, always being on, have you ever accidentally, shoot, that happened a lot more when I was younger and first started, but not as much now, although people think I'm doing it sometimes, and I think that happens to Gruden constantly. Like, Gruden will just be talking, he'll be like, are you morphing in front of, what are you, turning into the wolf man? What's happening?
We saw you do that with we saw you on Hard Knocks do that in front of the Raiders, in front of Gruden.
That was cool.
And obviously, you do all the impressions. Is it harder to do them in front of the...
No, he wanted me there.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably not good to take a bite. Can you ask longer questions?
Yes, we're going to draw this question out. So.
Pretend this is 60 minutes.
Yeah, so like when you're doing it for us, it's one thing, but we do it for the person themselves, say President Bush or Morgan Freeman, in front of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Would that be daunting at all?
No, I actually like to do that. Madden was one that I did years and years ago. I made his grandkids laugh. He didn't like me up until that, but I was like, I get it now. When I met Gruden, it was interesting because it was at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. He's like, so you're the guy who does me, huh? And I'd been doing this to him for like 3 minutes. Like, how'd you figure that out, buddy? He's like, where are you from? And I looked up where he was from, so I said that. I was like, Sandusky, Ohio. I was like, really? I'm like, no. He's like, good, because you were blowing my mind. Some good stuff right there.
Frank, what's amazing about your story
Just
is...
one thing that's amazing.
just one thing.
Name one.
If our producer is doing his job correctly, Patrick, it seems that the story about how you got into impersonations has a sports-related tie.
Yes.
You were a catcher playing baseball.
Yeah, that's a story I made up somewhere else to be No, that's real. That's real. That's real.
Well, tell the people who may not know it.
No, I really did. I was a catcher. I grew up, I was born in Chicago, so I was from Elmwood Park originally, and then I grew up in Waukesha, a suburb of Milwaukee. So I was a catcher there. I went to Waukesha South High School, go Shirts, and as a catcher, I would just tell stories behind the plate and mess with him. My dad played in the White Sox organization, minor leagues, yeah. Wow. So I grew up playing baseball. I worked for Mike Hegan, and my brother used to throw batting practice to Craig Counsell.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, nice
Craig Counsell way up here.
I taught him the stance. And, don't go for home runs. Just make contact.
There you go, Craig. It worked for him.
Just change pitchers all the time. Where were we on that story? Because I
playing catcher.
So
you're
you
talking to umps and the opposing
make
players.
the umps laugh and make the batters annoyed at me, and that's kind of how it started.
You mentioned your dad, and it's so funny you brought that up because we did the research. Patrick did the research on this. His minor league career hit 212.
I didn't even know that.
Had a couple triples and 16 ribs.
Oh, really?
So are you like, are those comparable?
The Sarasota Sun Sox?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are those comparable numbers? For Triton Junior College before that. I can turn it all into Chicago-based stuff.
Could you play?
I was all right. I didn't have a good. I was a zero-tool player. They looked for 5 tools.
Zero?
Yeah, there was a lock on my toolbox. People could not get into the toolbox to access any type of speed.
Couldn't throw, couldn't run,
nothing.
couldn't hit.
Nah, maybe a little bit of hitting.
I'm surprised you said you play catcher. You look like a shortstop, like an Alex Rodriguez.
Oh,
yeah,
I think A-Rod, right? When I see Frank.
Yeah, a lot of people think, yeah. When you're 5'6", in 1988, winning a national championship, AAU. Actually played outfield there because we had a guy who got drafted who was better than me. But no, yeah. So that was kind of it. So.
Well, what is it when you're on the road, right?
Can you ask me a question at the same time?
Yeah, we're trying to elongate. But what is it like for you when you're out there on the road? Because everybody knows the impressions, right? You're going to be at Zany's again tonight. You're going to be in Chicago. You're on you're gallivanting all around.
Well, I'm actually going to do a little part, some little things. the reason I'm here even in Chicago this week is we're going to a thing called Ace Comic Con.
Yes.
And over at the Rosemont.
Okay.
It's not the Horizon anymore, is it?
They still call
You're
it the
asking two
Horizon?
guys not from Chicago.
Yeah, it's but it's there's a person's
Allstate
name.
Arena.
No.
Convention Center.
It's a
Correct.
convention
There it is.
center, right? The Stevens. There.
Oh, okay.
Frank Caliendo Stevens Convention Center. But there's a thing called Ace Comic Con, and my daughter broke her elbow a year ago, and then it hasn't healed properly. And in that time, she got into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, Spider-Man's going to be there.
Oh, wow.
Tom Holland, Thor, Chris Hemsworth, who I'm very often compared to as Fat Thor. I actually look better than that. Loki, my brother. So and there, Jake Gyllenhaal, there's Brie Larson. It's crazy who's going to be there. Yeah. So I finagle with my C-list celebrity status.
Awesome.
Trying to meet some people, get some pictures. Not for me, I don't.
I know you don't care about it, but
Although,
for your daughter.
Last time it ended up, Josh Brolin had used me as inspiration for the George W. Bush impression or part of it in the movie W.
Wow.
And I have video of it. I'd pull it up, but you guys could probably access it. Maybe a producer could get on that. Instead of salsa, maybe.
Yeah, Patrick, do your damn job.
We went all out with the salsa.
That's very good.
Okay.
Tremendous. So, where's I go with that? That's the
Josh
second.
Brolin.
Josh
Chicago,
Brolin.
yeah.
So I had this video of him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that was amazing." A lot of that movie, I used inspiration from you. And Chris Evans is standing there, Captain America, and he's like, "Wait a second, what role are you talking about?" I'm like, "Thanos, of course." And he's like, "Wait a second, who are you?" And I'm like, "Frank Caliendo." He goes, "Are you kidding?" He starts hitting me.
That's wild.
He's like, he starts quoting my act, and my daughter's like, "This is the greatest day of my life." I'm like, "Get ready for it to go downhill fast." Think of it like, I almost got in trouble. Are these guys a sponsor?
No,
No, you're good.
They're
Okay,
not.
think of it like salsa.
Right.
It's really good at the start.
Oh no, I know
It
you're
is-
going.
you know what else
No, I
is
didn't go anywhere with it.
really
Later
good at the
on.
start? I don't know if you've
no,
read much.
Frank.
You're sitting next to an author, a published author. It's
Oh.
A Dynasty Restored.
It's in the Library of Congress. Frank.
The Dallas Cowboys through the eyes of the #1 fan. Do you have a Jerry Jones in you?
I believe that.
Okay, well, I'd like for you just to read a passage
Oh, my
here
God.
from Thursday, November 25th.
Oh, do you
as Jerry Jones?
Do you do a Jerry Jones? Oh, we have it highlighted. Didn't prep for this at all. Right here?
Yeah,
in the
sure.
highlighted
This
portion?
is Dave Ross's words through Jerry Jones, performed by Frank Caliendo.
It's really nice to be back home, even if it is just for a short visit. Upon my arrival at the beach house, I was greeted with Steve's ribbing about the Falcons, this time in person. It is always,
This would be a good Morgan Freeman. It is always in a good-hearted nature when we poke fun at one another. I was sitting.
His writing's sometimes
I
hard.
was a sitting duck. Yeah, you can really.
Frank, it's a
Shore up the grammar.
Yeah, but maybe more than 2 sentences per paragraph would be good.
I was like-
you just like to indent?
I was like 20.
I like to. Here's what I like to do. I like to press tab, tab. Then you don't have to press the space bar 5 times. Tab. Awesome.
I was trying to stretch out some chapters, Frank.
Yeah,
I was trying to make it a little bit
I
longer.
think he had a 150-page
word.
quota he had to
Yeah,
make.
it's not good when the cliff notes are longer than the actual book.
The scene's in great shape, obviously,
Yeah,
as
but
well.
they've
And
taken
this is
care of it.
bargain
Give
basement
it for
price.
$1
So
there.
this is a book you wrote quite some time ago. I
Yes,
was thinking
sir.
this
Check
was-
out the picture on the back of a
Frank,
young
you don't
David
have
J.
to.
Ross.
You don't have to do that, Frank.
What year was this taken? 1950?
Possible.
Or was this just the level of mimeograph? It's almost like the purple they used to give us in grade school when they didn't have full-on copy machines. They just had the mimeographs.
Frank, I have real questions.
We
I have
don't have
real
any time
questions.
left for
Are
them.
we running out of time?
We don't have any time.
I want to run out of time. You didn't have to look at my book. I didn't
Yeah.
know that would be the.
Frank Caliendo.
You are already sold out tonight.
Sold out,
going to
you're not
Comic-Con?
going.
I got to be honest with you, I sold out a long time ago.
What's your favorite place to play in the country? Very quickly. Do you have a favorite? Like.
Chicago.
Wait, right,
That's the right
That's
answer.
the right answer tonight.
There's the right
but
answer.
Really, wherever you go around the country, people are just like.
Midwest is a lot of fun because I grew up in the Midwest,
Yeah.
so I get it. And I will be. I'm probably going to have to hide some because people all know that I'm at that Comic-Con. So they usually think I'm going to be way taller and fatter, though.
People come up and say, hey, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, they get this confused.
Thor's in good shape. Frank Caliendo.
my brother.
It's been a pleasure having you on Sauce and Shram. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your stay in Chicago, and we cannot wait
Enjoy
to see
some more of that
And
salsa.
have some more
Here's
salsa
how we
while
end
you're
it.
at it. And if you miss Frank on the show,
Right.
Shrammy, they can access it.
And you can take Frank in your ears on the go with the Sauce and Shram podcast and all these podcast platforms. Thank you very much, Frank. That was
Oh,
great.
can I plug my podcast?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Caliendo Cast, frankpods.com. I don't know why I'm yelling just because I can't see myself. Oh, frankpods.com, on Instagram, at Frank Caliendo. If you can't spell Caliendo, it's the letter C, the word alien, and the word do. At Frank C. Alien Do. And, hey, I'll visit you too.
There we go. We're back in a few.
Frank, thank you very much, brother.